Okay, it's on. Hello, everyone. This is Carrie. This is my fabulous student, Amanda. And Amanda's going to help me out while we go through how to warm up the body to do arm balances. So, what that mainly means is some core strengthening and a little bit of shoulder work and strengthening. And then we'll go ahead and show some tips on how to try crow. If you're not sure about it, how to modify so you can get yourself, your mind ready to maybe do crow in the future. All right, let's go. So if you'd like to start on your back, and then place your feet flat on the floor, like you're gonna sit up into a bridge pose. And then take your fingers on your hip points. Yeah, and feel those hip points that stick out. Have your fingers right on those. And then picture a string between those hip points. And as you inhale, you might feel that string kind of expand. But as you exhale, use your muscles around to pull that string taut. And not going to be able to see to the eye, but you'll feel it internal to yourself. So as you inhale, it somewhat expands, not too much. As you exhale, use your muscles to pull that string taut. Inhale to slightly release, and then exhale to pull it taut. Good. Now I'm going to add on to this. So make sure your feet are nice and firmly in the ground, hip width apart. Take your triceps into the floor, and your hands can be on the floor, hands up, either way. And as you inhale, lift up into a bridge. Keep your upper back to the floor. So just a tiny bridge. So keep your, yeah. So you're nice and flat across here. And now picture that string again between your hip points. And as you inhale, you prepare. As you exhale, pull that string tight. So what's happening, and keep doing it, what's happening as you exhale, your whole transverse abs are pulling down and up, but your rib cage also pulling down towards your belly. So we're working those deep under abs, not the abs that pretty show, they're pretty and show the six pack. These are underneath, the ones that actually make a difference. You can tell she's trying real hard and shaking a little bit because this is hard. Do it 2 more times. As you get tired, it's harder to pull that string tight. And after 2, slowly let yourself back down. And bring your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. How you feel? All right. Bring your feet flat. Actually, bring your legs out straight. And then reach your arms behind. And notice when she does this, or if you do it, your low back is lifting up off the floor. Now, prepare yourself, and as you exhale, press your low back into the floor, squeeze your legs, lift them, hover, lift your shoulders, lift your head and hover, press your low back into the mat, pull your belly down into the mat, especially on your exhale. As you inhale, it's going to release a bit. As you exhale, pull your belly down, press your low back into the mat. Squeeze every little bit of your body into the midline. It's hard. Keep the breath going. The low back wants to lift. If your low back lifts easily, keep your legs higher, especially as you get tired. And then slowly release. Ooh, big breath in. Let it go. All right, bring your knees to your chest. Hug your, yeah. And now notice when your knees are like this, how close they are to your triceps and armpits. So we're gonna do a crow on the floor. Take your hands pressed up to the ceiling. Lift your head and shoulders off, and then see where your knees go. They might be a little bit wider. It just depends on how you're built, how flexible your hips are. There's no right or wrong. So take an inhale here. As you exhale, lengthen to where we were before, where just your low back was on the floor. Yes. And then inhale, crunch everything in. How high can you get your knees? Can you lift your tailbone up just a bit? Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and crunch it in. So this is a crow position right here. It's just upside down. Squeeze knees in, squeeze elbows in. Inhale to lengthen, low back in. Exhale, crunch it in. Yes, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pull everything in. Lift that tailbone, lift your head and shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it all in. Good, release. Maybe do a happy baby or stretch it all out, whatever feels right. So arm balances, which we're working towards crow, takes a lot of core strength. And now core is not just belly. Core is really everything, every muscle surrounds your spine. So whether that's in back of you, the sides, the front of you, all of it's important. When you're ready, rock and roll and come into a table. Do some cat and cows. Any other movements here? The other thing with crow, this right here, this cat position is the position you're in a crow pose. So just noticing that as you're moving through your, making shapes with your body, connecting breath to movement. There's no right or wrong here. And then come back to a neutral spine. Let's warm up some shoulders so we can have some strength and be ready in our upper back and our shoulder area. So first, without moving your pelvis, as you inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull your, or let your chest dip towards the floor, shoulders away from your ears, arms very, very straight. So you're just working in your shoulder girdle. And then as you exhale, press and make a cat just in the upper back and widen through, press through your hands. And then inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. I'm trying to make her squeeze my fingers in between. And then exhale, press and round just through the upper back. Again, this is the crow position here. Inhale, squeeze. Try to get your low back nice and flat, and then exhale, press. Good. Inhale one more time. And then exhale and press. Good. Come back to neutral. As you inhale, shift forward just a bit so your shoulders come over your fingers. Start to bend your elbows, squeeze them in. Little chaturanga from your knees, and then press back up. So you're in a plank on your knees. Exhale, chaturanga, squeeze elbows in. Inhale, back up. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, elbows towards each other, and come back up. Go as many times as you'd like till you feel you can't do anymore. We'll stop for now. And then coming into your neutral position, start to tuck your toes, hover your knees, and then feel that rounding through your upper back. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, tap your right knee as high up to your arm as you can, and then set it back. There you go. Inhale, exhale, left knee as high up as you can, and back. Keep it going a few more times. Arms nice and straight, shifting forward a bit, and then coming back to hovering your knees. It's hard. Hovering the knees an inch or two off the mat consistently keeps your core working. Good. One more time each side. Good. Release. Sit down onto your knees. Stand up on your shins. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then give yourself a back bend. Maybe a little twist or whatever feels good for you. All right, and then come back. All right, do you feel pretty warmed up? All right, so crow pose. Let's show an actual crow pose if you're ready for it. So if you're ready, walk your feet into a forward fold. Bring your heels together, toes a little out, and then widen your knees as you squat. Make sure your hands can be flat to the floor, butt high. And your arms are in that chaturanga position. And then see if you can get your knees as high up to your armpits as possible. This is your start position. Already you're going to engage here and then shift forward. And then maybe lift one foot and then the other. And you don't have to lift any feet, but squeeze the knees in to help remind your arms to squeeze into the midline. Keep looking forward. You have to shift forward. It's okay if it doesn't happen today. Yeah. Pull the heels in up towards your little tushy. There we go. Shifting forward. You have to look forward. If you look down, that's when you somersault. Good. Give yourself a little rest. Now, some tips and tricks. So one of the things in crow that most people initially are scared of is you have to look forward to come forward, but they're scared of falling onto your forehead. So take blocks, take books if you're at home, maybe a pillow or 2 or 3 pillows, and set them up, and then set up for your crow behind it. And then you're going to place your forehead on the blocks, like your third eye. So adjust your hands as needed. Place your head on. Get your knees nice and wide. Yeah, your butt's going to be a little higher. That's okay. It's just getting used to coming forward. Squeeze elbows in. There you go. Now you have a third point of contact to help you get used to lifting your feet, squeezing your knees in. Nice. And you can make those blocks higher. Maybe grab a third block. Yeah. How's that feel? All right, another trick. Sometimes there's, depending on how our hip sockets we're all built differently, or flexibility. Maybe it's hard to get your knees high enough into your armpits that's needed. So if that's the case, we place a block under our feet. And then set up yourself to do a crow with blocks, starting with blocks under your feet. If you want them closer together, start them closer together. Yeah. So now you can see before she gets started, she's risen the floor up, which gets her knees even higher tucked in. Squeeze everything to the midline and lift every part of yourself up towards the ceiling. Yes. And you don't have to hold it long. Come down when you're ready. Nice. Did you like that one better than the under your forehead? It looked easier. Yeah. So there's always different ways to do it. With that, we'll close up. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.